I'm cute.
I'm Baby Boo.
And welcome back to Baby Talks. Yay. So we got a few things we want to talk about this week. Hopefully we can get to all of them. So the first thing we want to talk about is, I guess, I have it as introducing you to horror movies. You said that you really haven't. You've been like watching horror movies.
Yeah, I watch. My dad and I actually. I mean, Granny was more of like a suspense movie than a horror movie. But my dad and I watched Winchester together, which surprised the hell out of me because he does not do those type of movies.
It's a good movie though.
Oh, it's
I
fantastic.
haven't finished it yet, but
it's good.
Truth be told, I will admit where I left off, it did kind of bore me.
Once you get past that one part,
if I hadn't have taken the reign and basically made a list going from not so bad to you're gonna fucking crap your pants, how do you think you would have done horror movies yourself?
I probably would have been all over the place.
Just like here.
Yeah, I probably would have like because you have a list of going from pretty much fucking pathetic to pretty tame and all the way down to holy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I probably would have gone all over the place and kind of just
traumatized yourself?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think one movie I definitely want to show you is Terrifier. I may show you that one before we get to the It series. Terrifier is pretty traumatizing and it's gory.
I don't mind gore.
Yeah, so I think that one would probably be interesting to show you before It. With how I have it set up, what do you think?
I'm kind of interested.
She's stuttering.
I'm interested and scared of what's to come.
So it's like a curiosity, but we're also in the range of curiosity can kill the cat.
Yes.
Though from what I've shown you so far, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm not desensitized yet.
No, definitely not. And I think throwing Saw into the very beginning was probably a good idea.
Well, that and, I really don't... My hubby will explicitly say this to me. I don't show emotions when it comes to movies. I don't cry. Rarely do I laugh.
Damn, you heartless.
That's what he called. Yeah. I mean, I do laugh, but it's like it's not. It's more It sometimes kind of feels like a forced laugh.
I was like, something like that.
Like that type of a thing.
Oh, ew.
So, and I don't really jump with movies. Now, granted, when I watched Pet Sematary with Mom, both of us kind of jumped when the freaking semi-truck kept going.
Oh, who didn't? Who fucking didn't? I jumped too, and I looked at hubby, I'm like, that was unnecessary.
No, Zelda dropping from the dumbwaiter was unnecessary.
Just that whole movie was unnecessary.
It was good, though. And
it was good.
I stand Stephen King.
Oh, Stephen King's amazing. But I didn't put him on the list because I knew you were already used to him.
Technically, you did put a Stephen King movie on there. It is Stephen King.
Yes, but I didn't put his other movies, like Gerald's Game or In the Tall Grass,
God.
or...
I
hated Gerald's Game. That was boring.
I forgot to tell you that I actually did finish
What did you
Gerald's
think? I thought it was garbage.
I was interested because I think I have the book on my Audible.
As she does a search.
No, I'm going to do a search. I'm going to keep talking. Because I watch them. Usually when it comes to something like this, I would either... I've been trying to do like the book first and then the movie because sometimes there's something that are so drastically different.
Yeah, like the orgy scene. That will never appear in an It movie.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about 12-year-old kids having an orgy.
No, we don't.
There is a cool scene, though, in one of the movies where Pennywise...
Yes, I do have it. I just haven't listened to it yet.
I wonder if the book is better than the movie.
Well, I'm going to find out after I'm done with the whole Drizzt series that Toby's got me on.
Because, honestly, this whole... The Netflix adaptations of Stephen King novels have been terrible.
Gerald's Game was one where... I mean, granted, I stopped because I think I was trying to either watch something else or I got bored. I don't know. But I finally got around to finishing it. And it was just the last maybe 10-15 minutes. I was just like... Stephen King.
I mean,
my baby, my boy.
I'm pretty sure the book is probably better.
I'm sure it is, and again, once I finished all the Drizzt books that Casey wants me to, and I'm on book 2. Once I finish those, and I may read the book that his mom told me about, and then I'll probably get to Gerald's Game.
And then 1942, I can't. I watched like 20 minutes and I couldn't. It was bad.
Oh, 2222? Is that what it was?
1940 or 1924.
1920. Oh, that one.
Yeah, 1924.
Yeah.
In the Tall Grass, I just never gave a chance. Because if I'm already bored between two movies, the third one's just not going to make a difference.
I have In the Tall Grass saved to my list, so I am going to watch it because I stand Stephen King and I want to at least give it a shot.
Good luck.
I mean, I got through Gerald's Game.
Not easily, I'm assuming.
I mean, the spoilers, sorry guys, but that one part where she tries to get her hand out of the cup and like her skin is just coming off and she uses a fucking period pad to try to hold it together.
It didn't faze me.
It didn't really faze me either, but I'm just like, you could have done so much better than that. Because, I mean, show ligaments and like something.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like some horror movies are better left untouched. And better left not made into, like, I think Misery. I think you'd enjoy Misery.
Misery, I am interested in watching because I did listen to the book, and the book was fantastic.
And the movie's just as good.
Yeah, my mom said the movie was good, and they said they casted the main female perfectly with Kathy Bates.
Oh, she's...
Kathy Bates actually was a guest star on Big Bang Theory.
Oh, was she?
She played Amy's mom.
Oh, okay.
Again, fit the role perfectly because her mom was this person who wouldn't let her do like theater at like her school because apparently the kids do drugs and have unprotected intercourse.
I mean, I don't think I banged anyone in my theater class.
Oh, this is like elementary, middle school.
Oh, so clearly kids in elementary and middle school are smoking weed and doing sex.
Her mom was a little bit overprotective.
So a sheltered mom. Worse than yours?
Doesn't hold a candle.
My mom looks like a saint.
Compared to this woman, yes.
Damn. Well, on the topic of scary,
yes,
I think it's finally time we tell our Indiana Jones story.
This
in its entirety.
No, granted, she did tell this story on her channel, but
I did.
And now she said, now when we first introduced this podcast,
we definitely wanted to talk about this.
Well, you also said you didn't want to repeat any stories. The only reason you're making an exception to this one is because it involves both of us.
Right. And usually I'll only tell stories on here with us that only involves the both of us.
Which is the only reason why she's actually repeating the story. Because technically, there's actually two sides to this story. Because,
in a sense.
Because it's your viewpoint, it's your POV and my POV.
Yeah, and then, I mean, there's obviously your traumatic experience with Indiana Jones that caused you to not go on the ride for many, many decades. Or many years, I should say.
I was going to say, because the last time I went on it before going on it with you for the first time.
Was your friend, right?
It was with my best guy friend who, God, he crushed on me hard.
Poor thing.
We tried dating, it didn't work.
I mean, at least you guys remained mutual friends.
We did. He actually just quit his job at Vaughn's and he's going to do security full time now.
Good for him.
So we went, and this was our grad night. So I was 18.
Rich ass high school kids going to Disney for grad night. I went to Knott's.
We had 3 options. We had Disneyland, Dave & Buster's, and a yacht.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We did Dave & Buster's. We didn't do Knott's. Knott's was our senior breakfast.
Knott's was our Sadie's. Every year for Sadie's was Knott's.
Over at the Knott's Hotel?
No.
Or at Amber Waves?
In the theme park.
Oh shit.
And then the boardwalk ballroom is where
it would be your dance hall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We had our all-nighter at Dave & Buster's, which was awesome because we'd get there at 10 p.m. and we left at 6 a.m.
We got to Disney probably at about, I think, 6 or 7, and it was going on till like 2, 3 in the morning. Or maybe,
damn.
Either that or a little later than that. Okay, so just for a little background, if you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, because I actually did a story time talking about my first experience on Indiana Jones. It gives me anxiety, just to say the least. I was starting to kind of get used to it, but then the whole bullshit COVID happened.
Yeah, the whole pandemic happened, and then any progress we made was just gone.
It was down the shitter. So, and also I think Hubby makes a point. I mean, again, no,
it's fine.
No offense to you, no discredit to you.
I feel braver with my husband than you.
Yeah, so it's like I just feel really. I feel safe.
And plus, he's a behemoth. I mean, how can you not feel safe with him around?
Big-ass Viking dude.
Exactly. So how can you not feel safe with him?
But anyway, so there was this one time we went.
And I think it was one of our last trips too.
I think it was one of our last trips, and we went on the Indiana Jones ride. Now, as she said before, we don't go on it unless I tell her to. I tell her, because otherwise
I don't say shit.
Otherwise, it's a whole traumatic experience that we don't need to get into. And I think this was the day that both of us got our Haunted Mansion ears, those singing bust ears.
Probably.
Because I had the ears on my head.
Yeah.
We get on the ride, and we're in
the back row.
The third row.
And I think that was the first time in row 3.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm. We usually sat in row 2. Miraculously, we always got row 2.
We're just going along, doing the ride as per usual. Me gripping the bar, white knuckled as usual.
Seriously, you're losing blood flow to your hands.
But then both of us kind of feel a weird sensation.
Well, for me, this is right after the boulder scene. And we're making that turn, and I feel like fingers tapping my shoulder. Kind of like you'll hear this, in a motion like a tap. I felt it on my right shoulder. So I'm thinking, oh, she gripped onto me because she's kind of freaking the fuck out right now, so I let her grip onto me. Well, we exit the ride, and her fingers are still gripping onto that bar in front of her. So I kind of jerk my head to where my shoulder is, and there's nothing there. So I looked at her, I'm like, did you touch me? And she goes, no.
I'm like, did you touch me?
No.
Because what I felt was, now she felt, like, here, let me move the pineapples out of the way.
I felt fingers tapping on my shoulder.
She felt something like
yeah,
that.
like tapping.
I felt something
Thwomp.
So it either...
She thought it was her necklace.
Either my necklace, because I had a pretty heavy necklace on that day.
You did.
It wasn't this one, but
No.
I didn't have it at the time.
Mm-mm.
It was either me in the shoulder, or I thought my ears kind of fell.
Mm-hmm. And maybe landed on the seat or something, or on the floor.
Or either that, or Cute decided to be a little weirdo and just slap my shoulder.
Like, hey, kid, you did great.
Because I asked her, I was like, did you hit my shoulder?
I said no.
And she goes, no. I was like, okay. And it also felt like either my necklace hitting, like swinging and hitting me in the shoulder, or my ears falling. And we're both looking at each other like,
Our
what?
first paranormal experience at Disneyland.
What the fuck?
Now, ever since then, we actually have never gotten row 3, knock on wood, because I never want that to happen again. Because, like, you always hear about paranormal stories happening at Disneyland.
Oh, yeah. And
you just never think you're going to experience it.
I've heard countless, and the thing is, she is extremely sensitive to the paranormal.
Extremely.
I don't believe in the paranormal, and I still felt something.
And that was beyond freaky, because if we have the skeptic feeling something, we fucked. Oh, Lord. All right, and last but not least, another scary adventure that we had is basically combating our fear of not Tower of Terror, but the idea of Tower of Terror. So on my side of the story, I had only ever been on Tower of Terror before this happened, because I've been on it since then in Walt Disney World. I've only been on Tower of Terror 3 times.
I thought it was twice.
2, 3 times, I don't remember. It didn't go past 5. So,
like, it didn't go past the little numbers.
Exactly. So I went on it, and I hated it. I hated every minute of it. I had never liked drop towers. I didn't think I'd ever like Tower of Terror, but my dad dragged me on it, and it was not okay. When I heard about the Guardians of the Galaxy overlay, I was like, damn it, I'm a pass holder. I don't want to miss out on any of these, like, new rides coming into the park. I have to do it, especially since I conquered my fear when it came to California Screamin'. I figured I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
In line, I was ready to shit my pants.
Both of us, we're just holding on to each other like, what the fuck are we doing?
Getting into the ride, I was shitting myself. I mean, I wasn't literally shitting myself, but, like, I was not ready
Metaphorically.
I wasn't ready to experience that drop, and I still didn't know bupkis about what this ride was going to be. I didn't know that there was going to be music. I didn't know that there was going to be, like, cool scenery. And I didn't know it would bounce. But with the way that they laid it out was a lot nicer. Yes, it still gets my tummy. And back then, it got my tummy a lot worse than it does now. But I'm more used to it.
The first drop is always what gets
Oh,
you.
the first drop is what gets your stomach.
Like, woo!
But it's fun because you never know what song you're going to get.
No, this is true. And, to bank off what she said about Tower of Terror, I've only been on Tower of Terror 1 time. I was at Disney with a friend of mine, who I'm still friends with, just not as close as I am with that one.
Hi. I mean, I didn't replace her. You're just not as close.
No, you didn't replace her.
No, you replaced mine.
Oops.
Oopsie. Did I do that? No, don't.
So I've only been on Tower of Terror 1 time. I was at Disney with a friend of mine. We were in the Animation Academy building, and we were in line to meet Anna and Elsa, I believe.
Ooh, I like meeting them.
And then the person in front of us turns around and she goes, "Do you want these? My daughter's checking me now." They were fast passes to Tower of Terror.
And that's when you just grab that shit.
I'm like, yeah, we'll take it, thanks. So I started to get kind of excited because, one, I love the Twilight Zone TV show. As bizarre as it is, I love the Twilight Zone.
But this was based on the movie.
Yes.
Plus, I mean, Rod Serling. Come on.
Rod Sterling. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man.
So we meet Anna and Elsa, and I'm getting super excited because I've never done it before, and it looks interesting, and you're like,
and I mean, Twilight Zone. You're going into the Twilight Zone.
But also, it was also kind of nerve-wracking because it's a really intense drop. Now I love Supreme Scream at Knott's Berry Farm,
which is a lot taller.
Yes, but this is basically an elevator falling, which is something that does freak me out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a pretty decently sized fear of mine.
Honestly, I've developed a fear of elevators too over time, and
We're about to get in the fast pass line. This is before everything on the app was a thing. Like there's actually printed out fast passes that that you actually had to give to the cast member.
Right, this is before you got to scan it.
Yeah. We get in the fast pass line, and my friend was like, "Have fun. I'll be in the gift shop."
Yeah, just completely ditches her.
Yeah, she ditches me in the line, which didn't make me too happy, but of course I don't have the balls to call her out on that shit.
At the time.
Now, granted, she was medically diagnosed with
diagnosed, yeah.
With anxiety, and she takes pills for it, so I couldn't be mad at her for an anxiety thing, but straight up ditching your friend who was supposed,
No. Especially if you're going on something for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be like if hubby ditched me going on Aerosmith, the
Rock and Roller Coaster.
I mean, granted, I really wanted to go on it, and I knew there were turns, I knew there was loops, I knew there was corkscrews. But I mean, still, you're going on something that's new. You don't ditch somebody doing that.
No. So she left, she went to the gift shop, and there was 2 or 3 girls in front of me in a group.
You said 2.
2. And I asked, was like, "Hey, can I ride with you guys? My friend just ditched me." And the one girl was like, "Yeah, sure." So I made instant friends at that point.
Yep.
Literally, the one girl let me hold her hand the entire time.
That's true friendship. In 20 minutes, you're like, hand.
And got on, and I hated it. I think it was more of, no, granted, again, love the Twilight Zone, love the history of the Hollywood Tower Hotel. I loved all of it. The atmosphere was great. The anxiety didn't help with anything because all these weird scenarios were going through my head, and I was like, I'm gonna die today.
Good Lord.
And so I never went on it again. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout came around, and
she was just as nervous as I was.
Well, yes, but also I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
As do I. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
It is probably my favorite Marvel movie other than Thor, but
For me, that's Ant-Man. Ant-Man and Guardians are a tie for me.
Ant-Man's a good one, too.
I love Paul Rudd.
Who doesn't love Paul Rudd?
I stand Paul Rudd. Especially that shirtless scene. I was like, we just keep that frame there.
Oh, God. Her and I get in line. At first, we're kind of excited because, it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, no, I wasn't excited.
Really?
No. Not in the slightest.
Okay, but it was Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like, okay.
So it's interesting.
We gotta try this out.
Plus, it's new. And I mean,
we waited over an hour.
It was 75 minutes, I think.
About that, I think. But the entire time, again, we were holding onto each other's hands, looking at each other like, what the fuck are we doing?
Why weren't we smart enough to get fast passes?
We didn't think about it at the time.
I don't think
either that or fast passes were already done for the day.
Probably, because it was brand new at the time, and everyone wanted to get on that ride.
Yeah. The queue.
Really cool.
Very cool. Just kind of, if you guys ever watch either it on YouTube or anything like that, and you see it, and you see the queue of Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, it's just the collector's shit all over the place.
It's like you're just immersed in the collector's area.
And what you have to do is rescue the Guardians of the Galaxy with Rocket the Raccoon.
Because them asses got captured.
Of course they did.
What else is new? So the showroom was one of the first times I had ever seen this advanced of an animatronic. You go in and the collector's like, "Hey, you're gonna go on a tour of my area." And then Rocket's like, "Dude, shut the fuck up. That's not what we're doing today."
Oh, yeah, because it's like, "You're now standing in my private office." I know!
So Rocket just shuts him the fuck up with a mute button. Wish I could do with the entire world. So,
with some people.
He tells us, "Hey, my friends are captured. I managed to escape, but what we're gonna do is break them out. And I'm not human, so we're gonna need your help scanning hands." And he takes the Walkman and he walks us through what we're gonna do. He's gonna break the generator and we're just all gonna have a dandy old time. So then we exit.
Yes. So we exit the showroom.
And that's where they did have the showroom for Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror. And actually, I think the bookcase is still there that they originally had.
It is.
But what the old showroom was, for those of you who either have not watched a YouTube video or just are living under a rock, What the showroom is it basically was set up as like a 1950s waiting room. And it had a very small 1950s TV in black and white, and it explained to you the story of the Hollywood Tower Hotel. And how these 5 people, a bellhop, a grandma and her granddaughter, and then a couple died.
They just fucking disappeared.
Yep, well, they shot by lightning and then they got fucking disappeared.
It's like,
And then the elevator dropped, which the reason why they had that elevator drop at the very, very beginning of the ride is because they wanted you to experience the drop that these people had experienced when the lightning struck.
yes.
So then you exit the showroom and you either walk upstairs or you walk straight. And then you're greeted with the most anxiety-inducing room, in my opinion, of the entire fucking ride, which is the waiting area, where you see the elevators, you hear the elevators, but you wait in front of the elevators before you enter the elevators.
But it's really cool about that waiting area is you get to see some more of like the collector's shit off to the side, including the original Yeti from the Matterhorn, which I think is cool.
And you also get to see Dolores the octopus.
I haven't seen Dolores the octopus.
You haven't found Dolores? Good Lord, she's just as obvious as Harold.
Like you said, the most anxiety-inducing, just waiting to get on the damn thing.
And then you sit down. In my opinion, that's when the shit comes out.
Yeah, we sat down.
Which row were we?
We were in the middle.
Oh, good.
Or were we in the middle or were we in the back?
I think we were in the middle.
Okay, and then, you have that one seatbelt, tug on it, do-si-do, and
Then they close it.
Hey,
that's when the shit comes out even more.
But it's not as bad as Tower of Terror, because when I went on Tower of Terror, and I buckled myself in, the cast members who were dressed as bellhops, which I thought was cool.
Oh, I love the uniforms for Tower of Terror.
Literally, the woman looked and she goes, is this anyone's first time? And of course, I raised, a few of us raised our hands.
Right, because obviously you're going to have new people almost every ride.
But she looked me dead in the eye, and she goes, we all make mistakes.
Oh my god! I literally, if I were to ask, like, is this anyone's first time? If anyone raised their hand, I'd be like, oh, it'll be your last. And then I would have closed the door.
You would have done great.
Yeah.
But with this one, they kind of amp us up a little bit.
They're like, are you ready? Yeah! And then all of us, and then like her and I, no!
So the door's shut.
And then that's when the music starts playing because Rocket plugs in the Walkman. And you never know what song you're going to get.
No, it's
ever.
randomized. Although the most rare one, I believe, is the Jackson 5.
You'd think so. I get that one really often.
Yeah, and you would think we would get our song more, but we don't.
I think that one's the most rare, in my opinion, was Hit Me With Your Best Shot. Because it times perfectly.
Hit me with your best.
But the first drop did get me, at least.
And I remember the first song we ever got, and it was Burden Love by Elvis Presley. That one
and it was pretty cool.
That was fun.
Because we were jamming while the ride was going.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I was like, whoa!
But then you kind of realize, oh, it's like constantly moving. And I think that's what got me used to the idea of the drop ride, was the constant moving.
Yeah. And then when it came to the picture, before the last couple of drops, normally you really don't think of what pose to do, especially when you go do a ride for the first time, but for some reason you and I just both knew. It was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
We just screamed. We didn't come up with our double horn pose until Monsters After Dark.
No, it was at Monsters After No, it was before Monsters After Dark we came up with it, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No. I think before that we just screamed.
You're like, ah!
Yeah, once Monsters After Dark happened, that's when we did the rock on thing.
Yeah, because it's like, are you ready to die?
And it's heavy metal. It's screamo metal, basically, while you're just dropping. And monsters are released throughout all of the ride.
Now the reason why they have a Monsters After Dark is, one, because like she said earlier, Rocket blows the generator to free everything.
And that includes monsters. And now Groot's in trouble.
Poor baby Groot.
We gotta go save the tree! But then this is also when they started to do the Oogie Boogie Bash. It's when they took away Mickey's Halloween Party and they started doing Boogie Bash, which you meet villains and it's a different experience.
It's so much fun. I'm so excited to go again.
Yes, we got tickets for Halloween Day. So by the time you're seeing this, we've already gone.
And my boss already knows about it, and she had me do the form like right then and there. When I was on the phone with you in her office, she had me do the 30th and the 31st just right then and there. She already knows.
I already did all that too.
Well, because usually she just needs 2 weeks in advance. That's it. But it's like, let's just do it, and she goes, taken care of. Don't even worry about it.
I literally just tried to eliminate all the days that I needed in October right then and there. Yes, because it's the first week for our vacation. Then it's the 17th for mine and hubby's anniversary. Then it's the 30th for our party and the 31st. Yeah, so I should be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then not long after experiencing Guardians for many, many, many occasions.
Which we now love.
I went to Walt Disney World with hubby, and this was my first time going where I could remember everything, because the last time I went before that I was 17, and the last time before that I was like 5. This time around,
You remember everything.
I remember everything, especially because I don't think we did Hollywood Studios when we went, because if we did I would have dragged my ass onto Aerosmith in line for Tower of Terror, because he was doing Expedition Everest for me, and it was a case of, I'm doing this for you, you're doing this for me.
It's like, I'm doing this, you owe me.
And then he tried to reassure me with the fact that the drops that we have for Guardians were mimicked after this Tower of Terror ride.
Yeah, because
They're randomized.
Well, that in Florida had it first.
Right. But their Tower of Terror drops are randomized, much like our Guardians ride drops are randomized.
Mm-hmm.
So you're either going to get that huge drop or you're going to get little ones here and there, whatever. And the fun thing is that the drops don't last long.
No.
When we're in line, I'm shitting my pants. And I cried in the pre-show room. I legitimately cried.
Oh, man.
And he goes, do you want to leave? I'm like, no, I'm going to do it.
It's like, I'm committed.
I'm committed. So we got in line, and sure as shit, they do have the same elevator waiting room that we had in California. So anxiety went, thump, and then we sit down. I was in the back with another couple sitting next to me, and the boyfriend was just as scared as I was. So I wasn't alone.
Isn't the boyfriend supposed to be the one be like, you're fine? Like, be like,
Oh no,
The Rock?
it gets 10 times better. I had never seen this ride played out before. Actually, no, scratch that. I have once, but I forgot what it was.
Oh, I
And
have.
the only thing I remembered was that the cart moves before
Yeah.
it drops.
Yeah.
So one thing that they do that did not help was all the walls turned into stars. And it basically did the intro to Twilight Zone.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And then Luis goes, look, pretty stars. I'm like, you're not helping. I got the whole elevator to laugh. It was great. But once the drop started and we exited the ride, he goes, how was it? I'm like, that was uneventful. Literally, I thought it would be a lot more than that, but it was uneventful. The drops were kind of boring.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I can clearly keep doing this ride now.
Yeah.
At least in Florida. You, on the other hand,
Oh, God.
we're going to have to see on that one. Because I
Again.
told her, get in line with us at the very least.
That's what I'm gonna do.
And if for some reason you get in that showroom or you get in that line and you're like, peace, dip out. We won't be mad.
I mean, at least I tried.
At least you got in line and that's all you can say, really.
Yeah.
So thank y'all so much for watching this Baby Talks. And we will see you guys next week. Bye, little mice.
Bye,
Bye, little dollies.